Well, welcome everybody to the 8th annual Westover Speaker Summit. It's a great crowd. I think it's the biggest crowd we've ever had, and I want to thank everybody for coming. We have a wonderful speaker lined up for you today. His name is Jim Pethokoukis, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about him in a few minutes. But before I do that, I want to tell you one thing about him that leads to this envelope that's in front of you. Mr. Pethokoukis was a Jeopardy champion in 2002. And we are going to be playing a final Jeopardy game right now. So will everybody please open your envelope. All right, so if you can repeat things at once, and if you can hear me and read, you'll know what we're going to do. The final category is college football. The draft's going to be held in 2 days, and quarterbacks are the storyline. So I thought we would have a question about college quarterbacks. There was one team in 2014 who had on their spot at the very same time the 2017 Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, Baker Mayfield. The number...
This letter says 2017.
Well, that's the 2017 Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, and in the year 2014, they had, this team, this college team you will name, had 3 quarterbacks who were the Heisman Trophy winner for 17, the second quarterback picked in the 17 draft, last year's draft, and the 5th quarterback picked in last year's draft. That was quite a group of quarterbacks. Now, if I asked you to tell me who that was, I'm not sure too many would know if I didn't give you a little bit of a head start. So that's why you've got 4 teams. So anybody can get this right. You need to know nothing about football. You just need to make a 1 in 4 correct guess. So what I'm asking you to do is to circle the team you think that was lucky enough to have those 3 studs on their team at the same time. 2 of them transferred, by the way. Write your name, and then for extra credit, we're talking about last year's NFL draft. What was the team who had the number 1? What was the college team that had the number 1 drafted quarterback last year? He was the 2nd pick in the draft. So don't yell, but write that name out, and then what we're going to do is at the end of Jim's talk, we're going to collect all the answers in a second here. At the end of Jim's talk, we'll pick names out of a hat for all those who correctly guessed the right college team. And there'll be 2 winners. You'll get a $50 gift certificate to the club to use it for anything you want here. Food, golf, tennis, whatever. And you'll get a $25 gift certificate for all those who guessed the extra credit. All right, and when you're through answering, Samantha, what's that way? Let's send all the answers from everybody all the way over for the golf course. So it's easy. You get 1 chance in 4 of getting it right.
Texas. What about, yeah, absolutely, back in 1971. Everybody mentioned one thing. Everybody's money went out of the state. You'd be done. So, Depends how I'm talking to. I'd say Georgetown down there. So, I tell them where I went to grad school. For good. That's because I'm humble. I've been there.
My family's been here 200 years. Yours has been here about the same.
All right, looks like we've got everybody. Does everybody have their guests in? We're good on that? All right, so well, welcome to our summit. I speak for Chip and Matt and our wonderful Westover staff, Jen and Kat and Caitlin, in saying it's really good to see everybody here. I also want to thank the club and Matt, the videographer, and Samantha Harris, who do such a good job behind the scenes in organizing everything for us. My introduction this year is not going to be about Westover, the size of our assets, the number of clients we have, but rather some observations about the world in which we find ourselves and about a speaker who may give us a roadmap to navigate that world. It will also be about new plans we have for further Westover events, and it's about engaging with each of you here today and in the future. After my comments, Jim Pethokoukis will offer his remarks and observations for about 45 minutes. We'll pick the winners of our Jeopardy quiz, and then he'll answer any questions you may have for about 15 minutes, and then we'll break for more cocktails. We opened the bar early today. If anybody looked at the market, and I know everybody did. In the past, we've had some wonderful speakers, people like Greg Valliere, Michael Farr, just to name two. Today, without an exception, we're going to have another wonderful presentation. Mr. Pethokoukis is the DeWitt Wallace Fellow of the American Enterprise Institute. Before I tell you a little bit about him, I want to tell you a little bit about the AAEI. It's a Washington-based think tank which was founded in 1938 and is dedicated to issues of government, politics, economics, and social welfare. And over the years, they've had wonderful scholars, leaders, thought leaders, political leaders who've been members of AEI. And just to name four, to give you an example of the breadth and the political sides of this, Jean Kirkpatrick, who was the first woman to serve as a U.S. ambassador, was a fellow. Patrick Moynihan, who was a Democrat senator, who was instrumental in helping reform welfare back in the Nixon era, was a fellow. David Gergen, an advisor to both presidents on the right and on the left, to Republicans and to Democrats, to Reagan and to Clinton, is a member of AEI, and most recently our newest national security advisor, John Bolton, has been a member of AEI. So you can see it's quite an organization. We live in a polarized society, don't we, today? The Pew Research Center says that an overwhelming percentage of Americans believe that those who possess views opposed to their own are dangerous and a general threat to the health of the nation at large. MSNBC and Fox News, for example, espouse points of view, but eschew the opposite. Wouldn't it be great if we went to Brouhaha tomorrow and we saw Rachel Maddow and Sean Hannity having a cup of coffee? The level of public discourse is also at an all-time low in my judgment. Think about what I'm about to say and just put it in context of your life. The thought that a sitting president would use his Twitter account to call another in the public eye a, quote, slimeball would surely make Abraham Lincoln roll over in his grave. I hope Jim will address the impact of this divisiveness and disrespect in his commentary today, and he didn't know I was going to ask him. At Westover, we believe in openness. We believe in being non-judgmental with regard to each other's political beliefs. We believe in moderation, consensus, and in respect for each other. I'm often asked, who is the typical Westover client, or what is the profile of your prototypical client? A pro forma answer would say something like, well, we represent high net worth individuals and their families with $2 million to $15 million in assets that we're entrusted to manage. And it might also say that our clients are generally retired executives or professionals, entrepreneurs, business owners in their 60s and 70s. But that doesn't really tell you much. When we think of our typical client, we think more about the qualities, characteristics, and interests that they share in common with each other, and which have nothing to do with their finances or their employment. Chip, Matt, and I have just spent 3 months engaged in annual reviews with our clients, and in those reviews we generally will take 1 to 2.5 hours with each of our clients, all 3 of us, and interact with them. And in getting ready for this summit, we asked ourselves collectively, what are the traits that our clients have in common with each other? And it's remarkable how you all who are clients here today have these traits. The first we thought of was decency. You would never think of calling a fellow American a slimeball. The next is openness. You welcome thinking that agrees and also that disagrees with your point of view. The next is intellectual curiosity. You want to know what is going on in the world today. You're critical thinkers, you're explorers, and you're stimulated and engaged with the world. You love to travel, but the most important thing that binds you together is you have a shared concern for your own families and for the communities in which you live. In short, you want to make a difference. At Westover, we strive to foster new ways to bring added value to you and to provide information you will find interesting, stimulating, to make you think, and engaging, to connect and bring people together. And to that end, I'm announcing that we're doing something new this year. We're launching a Westover Luncheon speaker series exclusively designed for clients on an invitation-only basis. It will be a series designed to enhance your personal growth and education through hearing stories and experiences of successful, knowledgeable, and inspirational leaders who are not in the financial field. Invitations will be going out later next week to those in the audience who are our clients, and we hope to see you at our first event on June 6th. We'll have two of these this year, the second in September. And if you're not a Westover client, and if our message resonates with you, would you do me a favor? Would you let us help get to know you better at the cocktail hour, and let us know if we can talk with you. And regardless of whether you're a Westover client today, or regardless of whether you become one tomorrow, we want you to know that we treasure your attendance at this event. We hope this experience, including the summit, is something that you find relevant and memorable.